Hey everybody, I cannot wait to make my coffee. I had it yesterday too, but it wasn't the same because I was riding on no sleep and I was about to run a race, 5K, and I am so happy I made it home. I know I did a quick live yesterday at John's house, but I can like fully unpack everything now and talk to you guys about the last 48 hours. Um, I wanted to focus on my set yesterday, so I didn't go live, and I wanted to like stay focused on doing my good 20-minute. Also, I ended up doing 15 because he kept lighting us at 5, and we all thought he was lighting us at 2 minutes. So it was a little bit of a error, but it's okay. I am ecstatic to be home. I'm also grateful for the week that I had. Learned a few things about what I'm going to do next with traveling, with performing stand-up and performing Divorce Diaries. Columbus is rescheduled, or it's not rescheduled. We definitely canceled it. I think he did. I told him I want to cancel it or reschedule. I didn't want to. It's just not going to financially be worth it because I almost spent $1,000 just to get home. Hopefully I'll get some of that back. I'm supposed to get some of that back. Good morning. But also so I'm all over the place. I had a great show last night. I made it home. Toronto and Newark were like bad weather, so I thought I was going to be staying overnight again in Toronto. Thankfully, I got standby for another flight home that did take off at like almost 12 o'clock at night. It was like 11:40. And good morning, Oki. And I was very grateful that I got home. I was able to run in the race yesterday. By the way, I am not sore today at all. Yes, that extra running and a little pushing myself to go more distance, helpful. I thank you. Yes, I am too. When I landed, I was like, I honestly thought I wasn't gonna. I was so disappointed too at the time. I was like, oh no, I'm so bummed. I'm not going to get back in time. And then I was like, I need to get back for the show. Like, I don't want to miss any opportunity to perform at New York Comedy Club. So, and I was like super grateful. When I was running in the race, the 5K yesterday, I was like, anytime I was feeling, oh, this shit's hard because it's uphill. A lot of it was uphill. Well, it was a combination of uphill, downhill, and I'm not great at that right now. Like that, I'm not training uphill. So my breath uphill, whoo, I was like, I am struggling. When you're running uphill, especially when you're in a race, you're not like taking it slow and you're not sprinting, but it was hard. My breath was the part that was the hardest. And it was like, ooh, but I did it. And I felt that I got 29:42. That was my time for a 5K. I don't know I want to look online and see like what ranking I got in. I'm just curious. And I got to do it with John and Gabby, and I was really excited. Well, I did run on. Last year I ran with them, but this time I was like, no, I'm gonna run my own speed, which he encouraged, obviously. Hi, Sarah. Tomorrow we're supposed to have Greg Stone live on 29:42. Isn't terrible. I love that you already know. Thank you. Like you already know that time, like, because I wouldn't know. I have to look it up. So the person who won first place, I think, got 21 or 22 something. So I mean, I did beat like some of the 60 up men. Like the person who got, was it 50 up or 60 up? The person who got first place, I beat them. Not that it says anything. I'm just saying. Did you or your mods? I don't know who blocked you, but does it matter? Probably me. Because you're probably annoying me or something. I don't remember. I don't know what I did. Well, then what do you want out of here? You took down the OGs? I took down the OGs, yeah. So I don't feel sore. I definitely feel like stretching and doing all that stuff every day is helpful. But I will say I'm not sure if I'm like I was like, oh, I'll keep doing some more 5Ks. I was like, I really just want my body to be in the best shape it can be as I get older, because I don't want to ever stop doing physical. Like my mom turned 77 yesterday, and I don't know why I'm using this old sponge. Gross. And I always want to be. My mom's having some issues with her knee, and I don't want to people have to have knee replacements, hip replacements at the age. I just want to always be able to run or swim or do something physical and be a part of physical activities, and not like be able to, that's it. That's what I wish for. Hi, Green Eye Tomboy. I don't know. I really don't know. The gun. See, and I feel like it was definitely fun to do it. And I'm glad. I was super grateful that I got home. My boyfriend surprised my mom. Like, he's like, let's go take your mom to brunch. And we surprised her at church and took her to brunch. You didn't. I think I might have. I don't know. I might not have. I have no clue what he's talking about. Somebody was annoying the other day and I timed them out, but I don't know if it was him. Either way, if you want to leave, leave. But it's okay. Boyfriend, yes. This is so annoying. I could get this off. I don't know how. Hold on a second. I gotta scrub this pan, and it's annoying because I don't have any SOS. So you use baking soda and some warm water. Warm water. Get it off. No, it's got like a burnt spot right here. I'm trying to get off. So the race went good. The show went good last night. It's available for members only. I just put up my set from last night. There was an inside joke. High enlightened opinions. So there was a woman in the front row last night, and the comic before me had asked her. Her name was Patty, and he's like, "Oh, is it short for Patricia?" And he goes, "Don't ever call me that again." And he goes, "I'm not calling you that. I was asking, is it short?" He goes, "Stop call." I guess he said it again. She goes, "Don't call me that again." Like, she got really mad, and it got weird for a second. Everyone was quiet and uncomfortable. And then he made a joke and just started talking to air. Like, he turned around. He did a good job in like lightening up the air. But then I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And so I said to the manager, I said, Jack, I was like, I want to do something when I go on there. I wanted to talk about how my flight was almost canceled. And when you have a flight canceled, you become like the worst version of yourself. You know, you like start screaming at anybody that will listen. Any airport employee is like not safe when your flight is canceled. So, hi, happy Monday, Joshua. So I can't get this off. I have like the worst. No, this was not a United flight. Actually, yeah, this was a United flight that was canceled and moved over. And then I flew Air Canada. This is so annoying to get this off. Anyway, so if you are a member and you're watching the video, we're going to watch a clip of it on here. You could see that I said I'm going to make a reference to Patty, but she might get pissed off. But you know what? I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the risk. So I'm going to have you guys listen to it. And so but the thing is, if you're an outsider listening, you won't get why they're laughing. But I had to do it for the audience. I was like, I've got to call it in to Patty. Like, so I'm going to have you guys listen to it, but I thought the set went decent. I did start with observational about my experience in Canada, and some of it was okay. And some of it was like, all right, you took too long. Like, there's 40 seconds here where we're just listening to the story. But I think overall, the set that I had was decent. I was proud of it. I felt like that was my 9th rep. All right, I'm going to just use my other pot, and I'll go get SOS because I can't get it off. Um, I don't want to give up either. You love my shirt? Thanks. So hard to get it off without SOS. And I also felt like I was reading the audience better than I have. But maybe not. I don't know. It wasn't like perfect. I thought I made John listen to it, even though I was like, oh, Michele, there's a lot of moments where he's probably like, that's, you guys will see it. You'll see it. Committed to this. I'm just going to stick with it. But I was very afraid that I wasn't going to get home for Sunday, and I'm glad I did. Let it soak. I did let it soak. Yeah, it's the microphone. I got to charge it. I didn't have time in the time frame I got home yesterday, or yesterday, the day before. My sink is still just like. Anyway, I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. I'm just I'm making this a habit because I have it. I'm forcing this because I've spent so much time on doing it. My microphone is dead because I had that one on the road with me, and then I didn't have a time to charge it. Hello. So I'm supposed to interview Greg Stone tomorrow on location near where we both live for like coffee, and possibly John Segula because they both work together or have worked together. And I thought, all right, let's do some Q&A with comedians in the scene. And they're actually filming now, I think, season 13 of Impractical Jokers. Yes, I am going to do some stretches. There we go. I did a lot of these right before the run yesterday. Go back. Okay. Sound off. There we go. It's almost off. It's almost off. I did experience something in Toronto, and I was talking about it, and it didn't hit. People smell. Not all people. They were smelly. Lots of smellies. And it wasn't like like I was in a couple of Uber. I call there were Lyfts there I was in, but they were clean car, but smelly. Like cologne where it's like, what are you bathing in? What are you buying that's like a headache cologne? Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a cologne smell that smells like a migraine. It's like almost alcohol. It has so much alcohol in it, you could smell the alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I smelled a lot of that too in the streets, but that was not the smell I'm talking about. It wasn't BO either. It was a bad smell. It was bad cologne smell. And that's bad. And when I went into that bit, it wasn't as good. Like it wasn't. And I'm doing laundry, so this is why I have what I have on today, because don't got a lot left right now. I just put a load in, and I'm going to charge me mics. So maybe we get some. can see which microphones are for which receiver, because I only have one receiver, but I have like 4 mics now. All right, so finally we're back with the Bustelo. Ah! So annoying. All right, we had a full week of shows, reps, you name it. I had open mics, shows. I had a children's theater, a stand-up set I did that killed. I don't want to say it killed. It did really well. I'm proud of it. I want to listen to it again on the GoPro because I was like, oh, that did well. And that I didn't get to enjoy as much because I was in such a rush to get back to get to the airport and figure out my plane stuff. And it happened 10 minutes before I went on stage. They're like, your flight's canceled. I'm like, what? And then everyone's trying to get rebooked and I can't even get access on my laptop in the theater. Oki says, do green rooms allow smoking? Some of them do. Mostly, I think they allow you to vape. But yes, some of them do. Like the ones in the city do. I've been there when they're smoking. Weed, yeah. First time she dealt... I also bought myself a bakery item. I bought myself something from the Italian bakery up the street because I'm really hungry. And I really want to put more protein in my breakfast. Like I'm going to go buy grocery shopping today, buy eggs. And my boy, John had like steak and eggs for brunch yesterday and it looks really good. And I'm like, I should have gotten that. I was so tired though after the race. I was starting to feel like I almost threw up in the bathroom because I was like, I feel so tired and like, what's the right word? I don't know. I guess that's what was happening. But then we took a nap and I felt a little better before the show. The Pokemon, Sonic, I am getting your chats and I see you. Hello. All right. So we're making Bustelo. We're talking about the recap of this last traveling week. I feel like so much has happened. And even though we've had live streams, I feel like just to recap everything, I think the next time I travel, it's going to be again to Austin for comedy and just keep building my stand-up here. And then unless someone's offering me close to $1,000 a day, because I almost lost $1,000. I mean, I still have to get the refund back, and I'm pray to God that it's coming. It says it's coming. But I have to call the other flight that I booked to see if I can get through the third party. I did pay for the refund to get a refund, so hopefully that goes through today too, or at least I get confirmation. But it's funny because my work, John said the same. He said you need to get again $1,000 a day if you're going to travel. If not, if before like I become a full headliner at this point, because it is costing me money and stress. But I really did like being able to perform in other spaces and meet other comics, and people were responding well to my set. The other comics specifically were like, wow, that was good. But part of me is also being like, but was it? Like some of the things, like, okay, so Backroom Comedy Club in Canton in Toronto, that was a good set. I felt very strong about that. I felt I nailed every angle and moment. The show after that, I could have done a little better. I think I stayed too long on certain things. Or I did stay too long. I should have shifted in a way, but I did. That was a tad bit of a younger crowd. And I'm noticing a struggle I'm starting to have, or not starting to have, I've had is, and I've performed, at St. Mark's I performed younger crowd, a couple younger crowds, and they were fine. But the audience vibe at the first show versus the second show was old, like, there was people in there who were parents. In the second show, I don't think so, you know? So it's like, I don't know if I go in with the PTA mom jokes on those sets. Because they don't really, some of them don't know what those are. Even though I've gotten, and the same thing happened when I was at, what's the name of the club? Not club, Pet Shop in Jersey City. I did a spot there. Well, because Canadians are known for their comedy. What? It's time to get a haircut and highlights this week. You guys got like your favorite dress on. Hang on. This is my favorite summer dress. I just want to. I wish they had like. I wish it had like a little like it was when it was. I guess not a skirt because then that would look weird. But this is my favorite summer dress. This is. I just love it. It's comfortable, and it's just fun. I just washed it and I'm gonna wear it. Fuck it. But then we'll work it out. We'll stretch. See them. Isn't it? It's just so comfortable. My underwear line. It's fine. Okay. So. Backroom Comedy Club was great. The X-Files show that was in the back of like a speakeasy restaurant was good, but I thought my set could have been stronger. I think certain things could have been stronger with it. But overall, like, I think the Toronto, I got to participate in the scene and get to meet other comics, but I know now, I knew before, but I really need to just be within that, in the New York City spots, the dojo, when the dojo opens up again. They did have shows there this weekend. I don't know if they're having mics. I don't know if they're doing the Wednesday show. I don't know, they're just doing certain shows at certain dates, but I'm going to show up and watch because I miss being there, and I'm going to find out. And I'm on a show with one of the dojo guys who runs, the dojo door guys who runs a show. I'm doing that August 14th. And then also on another show, August 15th in Montclair. I just got that booking yesterday. And I'm going to hit up the booker from your comedy club, The Fabulous Candy, and see if she needs a feature for Chris Kattan. Fuck it. Let's do it. You know? Yeah. My mom... Okay, John got some... I just had such a lovey-dovey mushiness for my boyfriend because he, like... suggested to surprise my mom with brunch and just show up where she was going to church, and it made her so happy and also made me super happy. So I was like, I'm like in my love, I'm always in my love hole with him, but like extra because what a good man. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this scone. It's delicious. It looks still. Ooh! I'm so hungry. This is like they make them fresh in the bakery too. Oops. So yummy. Is my mom hot? Yeah. My mom is beautiful. Okay. So, tomorrow, the plan is to interview Greg Stone, and I'll have to confirm with him today. So start putting in the chat what questions you'd like me to ask him. Now, because I'm creating my question list and stuff like that for tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to play some of the set. Oh, I guess I could show it to you. This is the beginning of the set from yesterday. Did I put sugar in my coffee yet or no? Oh. Did I put sugar in my coffee yet or no? I don't think so, right? So this set was from last night in New York Comedy Club. I'm showing you that specifically because I felt my most confident on stage last night. And my most relaxed, I should say. I'm most relaxed. I definitely feel that, and I've been saying don't go in with new stuff, but I was like, okay, I'm going in with the new stuff as observations. I'm not going to stick too long on it. And I thought for one of them, it got an immediate reaction because of what had happened with the woman in the audience right before I got on stage. So right before I got on stage, there was a comedian who asked a woman, what is your name? Is Patty short for Patricia? She got very mad. She said, do not ever call me Patricia again. He said it again, and she's like, don't call to me again. It became a very weird moment. So, and then he recovered it, but then like I was like, I gotta bring attention to this woman in the front row being scowling mad, but then she was also laughing. The coffee looks delicious. Anyway, so this was now my opener, okay? And then let's see if I can get. I don't know. I would love to be down in Austin again very soon. All right, here we go. But that's the goal, is not to really. All right. Now, before I show it to you, I'm not showing you the whole thing. This is for members only, but you guys are going to get a clip in the beginning. I did do a little high kicking because it was someone's birthday. I couldn't help myself. So the microphone stand moved down by itself, and that's why everyone started laughing. It was just all like cute little stupid stuff. Yes, I'm aware this is taking away from the comedy. I'm just dancing around on stage, not getting to the jokes. But so yes, this is where it's like, if I have 5 minutes, I can't do that. But I was like, all right, I have 20 minutes. And also, on a side note, me and the comic before me and after me, we only got 15 because the guy kept lighting us at 5 and we thought he was lighting us at 18. Fine, whatever. But which was fine because I felt like, all right, doesn't matter, let it go. But practicing your 15 and 20 and getting that out is important too, right? To make sure you have the difference between a 15 and a 20. So the only thing I'll say about this is it's not a joke. I'm just acting silly and kooky. But that's part of who I am. So like for me, this was like just roll with it on stage. I wasn't planning on doing that. I wasn't planning on the mic stand dropping and making everybody laugh, but it's like, okay, go with it, right?
Yeah. I almost didn't make it here. That's how grateful I am to be here, because I was stuck in Toronto airport yesterday. I live in Jersey. I'm from the New York City area, but I was trying to get home to Newark. Newark, New Jersey. Trying to fly back there. It was
Again, I'm tripping over my words and it could have gone in and out. My flight was canceled because of the weather. Boom.
Stop.
Good morning, Angie.
Right, it was bad weather, all that stuff, right? No matter how good of a person you are, if your flight gets canceled, you turn into the worst version of yourself. You turn into Patty if dare you. I'm fucking scared of you. I want you on my side. Can you imagine if Patty was your rep and your flight got canceled? She just went in like. No, I mean, yeah. Are you Irish? Yeah, I knew it. I'm Italian, so I'm scared. We're really gonna, Are you Italian?
I'm Jewish.
You're Jewish? Okay, same thing.
I'm Exactly.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess. And the thing is that when your flight attendant, you start like screaming at anybody that works at the airport, right? Like even the guy with the yellow jacket who's taken off the wheelchair from the ramp, you're like, why can't I afford? I'm Delta Plus. I'm not though. I'm like always group 6. I'm never like Jet Express line, like TSA pre-check. No, I am at the bottom of the barrel. Okay, if there was a Noah's Ark today, I would not have a spot on that boat. Like, bitch, we got some scroll also hire apprentices.
Okay, that was okay for a new bit to start over. I should have stopped there because then I went into that people stink. The people in Toronto, some of them stink, and then well, the one part about moving was okay, but I'll if you're a member, you can view the whole thing. If you're not, I'm gonna put up the clips that worked. But if you're a member, you get to see me sweating it out. I'm not like, it's not bad. It was just like, there's this new bit. I want, not an entire new bit, but I should have just said stop there and then go on to your set. But okay. Middle-aged thing works really well. I don't know. I just responded well with the audience. Oh, sorry. I think extremely high morale at work is what leads to bring yourself at work, which is what can lead to getting paid. High morale. Mm-hmm. This scone is delicious. Okay. So Wednesday, last Sunday, I did a show on Staten Island. Monday, I did a mic. Tuesday, I didn't because I'm always working. Sorry, side note, I am always working on new bits, but never do you do the new bits when you're doing a show. You work those out in the mics. Now, sometimes you can try a new joke here and there. And because this was the showcase, and I was stuck in I was like, I'm going to open with a observational thing. Fuck it. If this was a Saturday night opening for somebody, no, I would not have opened. I wouldn't have gone that long. But for Sunday, I was like, I'm going to try this in the beginning. The manager said, he's like, you did really good. He's like, from top to start. But when I listened to it, there was pieces. I'm like, that could get, you didn't have to go on about that. But I'm proud of how far I've come. Because from the beginning of the week, I had a show, a mic. Wednesday, I had 2 mics. Thursday, I had my show. Friday, I had 2 spots. Technically Saturday, I had a spot in the morning. I did stand up as the wolf from the 3 Pigs, and then Sunday. So that was 9 in the last week. That's, I think, the most I've done in a while. I may have done like 5 and stuff like that. Maybe 8. But I think, what am I doing? Oh, I think that getting the reps in makes me feel stronger too. But not only getting the reps in is going back and saying and fixing my set to make it stronger. My 7-minute, my 5-minute, my 6-minute, there's jokes in my set that I'm like, I'll eventually will get to the bigger laugh. So let's just keep going with it. Even the bartending joke, I've tweaked it so many times. It's still sometimes not feeling right when I start it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a while now. Like, I start with, I used to be a bartender. Why am I going into the joke? That, first of all, I tell the bartending joke because it gets a big laugh when I tell off the customer to the teacher. But other than that, being a bartender is not who I am anymore. What I am is a hustler. Like, I hustle, I work. I've always been taught to fucking make work. Probably because we didn't come from much, but also because I need money and I need to work. And I also have a passion for what I want to be in my heart, which is a full-time stand-up comedian and actor, right? Like, and I started in college, and now, and it's, you know, during the times where I was like, I'm just going to solely make money as an actor, I've completely struggled financially. And theater, being a theater teacher and connecting my world in acting as a director and teacher, which, you know, to say, well, I'm performing with kids in classroom and helping that, you know, is great. But ideally, I want a stand-up career like that is, I solely rely on that performing career. I mean, and as a stand-up right now, right? To fund my life, to be my job. That's it, right? So I'm getting back to my point. So So going back into the 9 reps this week of like making sure I just, because I was part of me is like I should start writing a new script for Divorce Diaries or writing a new film about this in addition to the writing. I'm like, wait a minute. All we need to do is write and fix our jokes. That was always the problem, was I always tried to put my eggs in all different baskets, which is, I think, good to an extent. But again, if I am solely focused on the jokes, I'm going to get something done. I think more so at this point. I'll get further along. Right? John made this point. He's like, if your goal is to make money, then just go make money. But I want to make money in my craft. Right? Like, I don't want to get 5 other jobs as a teacher or something. Like, I want to make money in my craft. So, like, get good at the craft and eventually the money will come. Wish I could heckle customers. Yeah, right? So the bartending bit, every time I like go to do that on stage, I know it's like, there's part of it that feels not natural anymore. And I want to go back and like, all right, what is the point? Like, I always have a $500, like maybe that's where I start. It's like, I'm a hustler. It's starting to sound like I hustle people for money, but it's not it. Why I went back to when I was a bartender in college versus, and technically I was a shop girl and dancer in college, like a dancer at a club. But then I became a bartender right out of college, and then it was fun because you're getting paid to make drinks, alcohol. You get paid to make alcoholic drinks for people. But then the problem is, when you go back to it in your 30s or 40s and you're a parent and you need this job to stay afloat, the stakes are different. Because if Chelsea doesn't leave you a tip on her 5 mojitos, you're fucked. Now you wasted all your time on Chelsea and her friends who aren't tipping you. Or let's be real, it's Chelsea from Detroit who didn't tip you. All right, sorry. I have nothing against Detroit, but there's... All right, sorry. Do you know what I mean? Finally I admit it? What do you mean, finally admit what? Heckle customers? Yeah, I mean... If you could heckle your customers at a bar, what would that look like? Oh. You want a mojito? Mojitos are delicious, but I used to hate making them because it takes a long time. And when you would get busy, then you're backed up. And it's like, if you don't like, it's you gotta juggle a lot at one time. So for me, when I was bartending in my 30s, the whole thing that would be frustrating is that when I was busy, these people would come up to the bar asking for fucking shots of like mixed drinks. I mean, pickleback was a big popular one. Fireball, fine, that's easy. But the green tea shots were very popular. And people love it. And they're so good. And it's like, yeah, they are good. You're right. I don't have time to make it. Even though it might be just like 2 things mixed together, I don't have time to make it. And you gotta chill the glass. I just want to give you a shot of Jameson. Because you're drunk. Doesn't matter if you put peach schnapps in it, apple schnapps, cherry schnapps, chocolate syrup. You are going to be drunk and it don't matter. In an hour, you'll have some guy's hoo-ha, some guy's banana, elephant, eggplant down your throat. And you think that will taste good? That's going to make you throw up just as much as the shot of Jameson. So take the shot of Jameson, move the way away from the bar, shut the hell up, and go dance to Just a Lonely Girl, whatever the freaking line is, okay? Go over there, okay? Let's keep banging your head against the beer bar to Bon Jovi cover band and just leave me the fuck alone. That's where the bit comes from. Jersey bars are known for the cover bands, and like I worked at a cover band bar. It was like the worst. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't like a place where you're going to grow as a human being. Okay? Being a bartender at this bar was not a place where I was going to fulfill my life dreams. It wasn't. When I went back to that bar, it's because I was getting divorced, and I was like, I don't want to socialize right now. Like I went out, and it made me feel very weird. Like I just was like, I'm not in the scene. Like I don't want to go out and meet people. I just want to make money and like focus on my life. Moving, like I was fully dedicated to just working on my stuff with my daughter and getting back to performing again, like full time. That's what I was really focused on in my head. I was like, I'm going to go back to performing. I started doing these new work series in New York with Emerging Artist Theater. Like every year for 4 years, I did it. I thank you, Oki. And I didn't want to I was like, I don't want to go out and meet people and spend money. I have no money to begin with. I need to make money. And I had run into my old manager from this bar, and I was like, hey, do you need someone to fill in for waiting tables or whatever? She's like, yeah, absolutely. So I was like, fuck it. Let me do it. I was teaching. I was doing that. I was performing with my children's theater company. I was trying to find other places to just pour my creativity out and just continue with what I had started in my 20s with performing, that I pivoted into teaching, right? So, and I was motivated with that, right? So, wait, chicks buy drinks in New York? I don't know. Do we? I buy drink. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like getting guys to buy me drinks. I'm not doing that, but anyway, I felt like when I was bartending, I waited tables and then went back to bartending. They asked me to bartend too. I said, it's hard to deal with some of these customers, the regulars who were like older and like drunk all the time, and they wouldn't tip you that much, and they were like, can I get a kiss? Like, ew. No. Some of the bartenders would let them kiss them on the cheek. I'm like, no, I don't want to touch you. What is going on? So like, all right, let me put my shorts back on because I want to actually stretch and stuff. Hang on. I have no clothes to wash. Just a small town girl living in a small world. That was it, right? Is that right? All right. Sorry. This is pretty filling. I don't really eat the rest of it. So my bartending bit, I get a little like, it's good for the ending. I want it to be good all around. Does that make sense? So I start with like, I love bartending because like I got paid to do shots with hot guys named Mark. The whole thing, it's like kind of a little fake because I didn't get HPV from Mark, but like I don't want to. I'm just trying to find the funny in it, and it's like when I was in my 20s, sure, that's what I loved about bartending. Hi, Christopher, how are you? You're a bud tender? Oh God, come on, have some microbrews. Don't have the bud stuff. That is the last beer that I would want to drink is Bud or Bud Light. Sorry. It's the truth. Hey, you. So the bartending bit is something where I feel like every time I rewrite the joke or I tweak it a little bit, I just want to make it this strong. I don't want to give up on it because it does have a great transition from bartender to the teacher joke. But is it something that's worth my 5-minute set? For right now, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I got to get to the punch faster in that bit in my 5 minutes. So I'm going to play around with it today because I want to put it in for Saturday. But I don't want the 21-year-olds to think I'm making fun of them, you know? So for example, it's like 21-year-olds are different now than when I was 21. They're coming in with lip filler and Botox. We didn't have that when I was 21. We had tube tops and belly rings, which I wasn't allowed to get. Because even if I hid it from my mother, her Italian radar of something, like the Italian mother radar of, I know my daughter did something I told her not to do, would go off and she would find out. She'd find out. And then she'd rip it from my belly, and I would have, still to this day, had a big gash here from my mother ripping my belly ring. She'd call me every single name under the sun that's offensive and be like, can't believe, you know, and still not think that that's wrong. But that's just what she, meaning it with love, but she would be like, I told you not to do it. I was going to get one, and then I was like, because I kept thinking I'm going to grow out of it. Like, and I probably would have. I wouldn't want to have a belly ring at 44 in my belly. If someone who does have it, that's great for them. I just wouldn't like, I just knew, I was like, this is going to get old. I need to take it out, but my mom would not want to be on here. No, she doesn't want me to talk about her, so I should shut up. Punchlines per minute is a real thing. Yes, this is exactly it. So that's what I was focusing on when I was listening to my set again and again from last night, was that it felt really good on stage, but I did listen to it a couple of times. I was like, all right, but this part, way too long. This part, what the fuck were you doing? And then because I thought I was out of time and I still had 5 minutes, I rushed the bartending piece. Still landed with the teacher, but I had 5 more minutes. Then that was my own fault for not communicating with the host. Usually the host will ask you, what do you want to light at? And I just assumed they were giving us 2 minutes, because usually that club usually gives you 2 minutes, but I should have talked to him because it fucked up my time. Like, I fucked up the amount of time on stage, but that's okay. Lesson learned, Traina. Make sure you talk to the host about your time, the light. The set from last night is up. The set is up for members only. I also have another set up. I think I have the set up from Backroom Comedy Club too, do I? Let's see. And if you're in New York City, yeah, Backroom Comedy Club is up. So we have both sets from Backroom Comedy. Unfortunately, I had to make the one for Backroom Comedy Club horizontal or vertical, because it was very hard to even put my phone up there. I didn't have my tripod. I got my tripod back last night though. Yay! All right. Let's do some stretching here, because I haven't done some stretching in a while. Especially when we were on the road. On the road again. So, listening, not only getting the reps in, but making sure that you are tweaking what worked and what didn't, fixing the silences where it's like, all right, that was a 30-second story to the joke. What can I cut out of there? Because sometimes I feel like the audience needs back premise for you to get to the joke, but the joke then has to be really strong, right? And so is there jokes within the premise, smaller jokes that you can make within the premise, right? Like, I had a couple of times where I was like, all right, my PTA mom bits I have down on point, right? Played with it yesterday. Something got a bigger laugh than normal. And I was like, that's great. But, again, crowd on Saturday night, second show. Friday night. Good morning. Daniel, who was at my show? Whoever the user that on here, the subscriber, that was at my show in Atlanta, please identify what your username is so I can thank you when I do my my on the road behind the scenes video today. And my hips definitely need to wake up. I did a little bit of this yesterday before the run, just rotating these. Okay, that was you? Was it? And you asked me that question. And who was that woman you were with? That was your girlfriend? That was wonderful. I'm trying to see your username unless you just bullshit me. I can't, some of you are popping up at the shows. Oh, that wasn't you. Good, because the guy seemed nice and wouldn't ask a question like that. Oh my God. All right, so we're going to message Candy and say, hi, thank you. Anyway, hi, thank you for the spot last night. I want to ask her, I should make short vids with YouTube subs. How do I do that? A guy left. He didn't stay. He stuck around, but there were some ladies that were talking to me after the show that I think they were taking up a lot of the time. And then I think I don't know, he was with somebody. So he didn't ask to take a picture or anything like that, but Dave, it was Dave. Yeah. So let's go to the music. I want to play some music while we're stretching. It's very quiet in the background. Hit that like button. We're talking about this. We're recapping the last week on the road, last couple of days. I shouldn't say week, and feeling like yesterday was one of the days where I felt extremely grateful to have a really great boyfriend who cares about me and has helped me when I was trying to get home, and then like surprised my mom, and then also got to see my daughter again. Yay, I missed her so much. And when I got to see my daughter, you know what was helping me on the way when I was on the plane waiting for it to take off? I was just like thinking of my daughter, holding her when she was a baby to holding her now. And I don't know, that was putting a very nice, calm feeling in my whole body that I was just like, oh, this is a happy place to go to when I feel anxious or stressed or nervous when things around me I can't control. Just like putting yourself back in that place when you're just holding my daughter when she was a baby, and then even just hugging and cuddling with her now. Like it was a happy moment. It was calming me down, regulating my emotional stress from the flight shit, which was annoying. You're amazing. Thank you. All right, so we haven't seen this in a while. Also, I have to cut these because I technically, this is not my side. I don't know if you see it, but they're very big, and I have to like rip them out or something. But it's probably gonna require some kind of like shears because they're just taking up so much space in our front of our house. Okay, thank you for the trophy. Coin Magnet Jr. Thank you so much. I will be doing. So we're going to try the Twitch stream tonight as well. I'm going to stick to the routine of that on Monday and Wednesday. Still not really sure. We're just going to play around with it. I'm going to try to open it up. There will be a part where if you want to flight. I have a flight to Boston right now that was supposed to take off, by the way. That's coming up on my calendar because Porter Airlines or United, one of them that I bought, they're rebooking me on the ones that were canceled. Coin Magnet, thank you for the GOAT trophy. We're going to try the Twitch stream again tonight at 11:30. So don't forget, if you don't have it, join. You can also view it on here. I'll try to maybe put the videos up when we start getting even bigger for all my YouTube subscribers, but come and join us on there as well. Okay. I feel very proud that I'm not sore from yesterday. Like, I'm not sore at all. But that's because I've been running every day. And I also, the last week, have been running. I might say the last month, but mostly the last week, I ran 4 miles, 3.5, 3 miles. Like, I pushed myself. But the uphill stuff, that was hard. Straight coffee or what's added for a successful Monday? Great question. In my coffee is cream and sugar. I steam the milk, so it's really milk, and I put sugar in it. Okay, ready? Definitely feel a little dizzy. Definitely feel like a little dizzy from that, but that's okay. It's not the best feeling, but it's all right. I haven't done it in a while. So, we're recapping this week. If you're just tuning in, don't forget I am performing at St. Mark's Comedy Club on Saturday at 6:30. Is my, I think it's a spot, or I don't know if my spot is at 6:30 or it's at the 6:30. It's at the 6:30 show. So you can buy your ticket if you go to divorcediaryshow.com or micheletraina.com. That ticket link is in the is in my website. And then the next show after that, I don't know, August 14th and August 15th, but we'll get spots in between for sure. But the other thing is to get as many spots each week. So I have to send out leads today. Hold on. Okay. Feeling very dizzy from that. I have to send out leads today to just see where else I can get spots in the city. The dojo in Jersey. Dojo would be exceptionally wonderful since it's right here. And I miss there. There's so many great comics that hang out there. So many comedians that are regular going there. So. Your girlfriend kicked you out for cross-dressing and you packed her up clothes and left. You packed her clothes up and left? Wow, sounds like you're off to a successful Monday, Nate. So we're gonna do some jumping jacks just to get the blood flowing a little bit because it's going to sit weird. We got to get the hair highlighted this week and cut. A little snip. Not just too much, just a little snip. Also, what do you guys think about the whole Tom Segura, Christina P. Divorce or separation? Pretty sad. Do you think it happened? Do you think that they were separated longer? Probably. Like, how long have they been discussing that? What do you think? Not that we know their personal lives, but they seem like they have such great chemistry. But 18 years, like, is that just the fact that they grew apart? I would assume, right? Instead of growing together. That's, I'm sure, a fear for everybody when they're in a relationship. They don't want to grow apart. They want to grow together, right? Is there a formula to grow together? Communication, making time for each other, or do you think that even trying to implement that, there's things that could go awry? I just felt like it was so, it's just got, I don't know. I feel like it's sad to read stuff like that because you know the goal is the hope for people is to continue to grow together, growing old together, right? Growing into your best years of your life together and continuing experiencing each other in new and exciting ways, right? Isn't that always like the hope and dream of relationships? But I haven't done much reading about it, but I'm curious what, couples in comedy. See if there's any successful couples in comedy. I'm just curious, like ones that have stayed together for so long. I'm not sure I do know that there are. Let's see, Tom Segura and Christina P. I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah. What's happening? So you're talking about food service people? This is just going off. There's AI. Oh, this is a really difficult time for our family. Are divorcing. Tom Segura's estranged wife breaks silence on. This is from page 6. Tom Segura's estranged wife, Christina Pazitsky, breaks down onto the really difficult split. Tom Segura's estranged wife. So Pazitsky's 50. And she wrote on her Instagram stories directing it to the mommies. A name given to her fans of her Segura's podcast, Your Mom's House. Thank you for all the kind messages. This is a really difficult time for our family. She looks great for 50, by the way. Episodes of YMH are pre-recorded in ordinance, hence no mention of recent events. Just know your mommy loves you and we'll see you very soon. I just got chills. Yeah, I mean, she also explained that episodes of their podcast are pre-recorded in advance, hence no mention of recent events. Yes, it was revealed that she and Segura, who have been married for 18 years, separated within the last couple of months, but are completely amicable. How do you guys, it's hard to be completely amicable, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe not. It wasn't for me. I mean, it was for me. Wait, I don't know. They shared 2 sons. Yes, it was. Sometimes it's hard to be amicable, I feel like. Elias and Julian, who were born in 2016 and 2018, respectively, and co-founded the podcast network. So they co-founded that together. They also co-hosted Proper Mom, Your Mom's House. I'm just curious how this, so I guess they're going to work on it together still. Segura had earlier hinted that his marriage might be on the rocks when he ditched his wedding ring during a July 13th episode of his 2 Bears, 1 Cave podcast. Okay, the pair will reportedly continue to co-host despite their split. However, the couple has not done a podcast ever together since late April. I mean, look at how big he used to be. I forgot about that. He used to be a lot bigger. Right? The couple has joked about their long marriage and their podcasts and on stage. Yeah, but I mean, I think that 18 years is, I don't know. So this comes to the question of especially when he's in this, you're saying in the same industry as your significant other, right? Like that, I would assume. But I mean, you're together, if you're married for 18 years, how long were they together? It's does it even faze you at that point? But that becomes such a part of your routine in your daily life. 20 years, holy shit, Okay, Sarah's going off about restaurant workers. Sarah, give it up, girl. I don't know. Yes, people at restaurants wear hairnets and not dirty ass hats. Great. We get that. Who would you roast if you worked? Who would be the first person you roast at a restaurant? If let's say your job was to go into every place of business and just roast a person as a comedian, that was your series, who would you roast first? I would roast the dishwasher. I would just be like, why are you so dirty? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just busting. Who would you roast first? The host? Be like, You don't know how to hold plates, or you're here just seating us. I don't know. I'm not roasting right now. I'm just saying. I hate when people put the straw in your drink and their fingers on the fucking part where you put your mouth. You're like, well, there was no point to giving me the straw. You would, why? The manager, why do they have to work a 9 to 5? That is their 9 to 5. 9 to 5 doesn't mean that you're living out a fulfilled, successful life. Some people work 9s to 9s, you know? A 9 to 5 does not mean you're successful or mean that you're doing anything exceptional. So I would not, I mean, and it can mean you're doing something exceptional. To be honest with you, I've never been the 9 to 5 person. I'm an all day worker. Yeah, I've never been that like workhorse of, not workhorse. I've been a workhorse, but not like, let's just work 9 to 5 and then that's it. No, thank you. So, with that said, I think that in the world of comedy, I don't know too many comedians myself. Actually, I do. Christine Berg, Aaron Berg, they're a couple and they're comedians that are. But I'm trying to think of other couples that I know that are together and married that are both comedians. Those are just one that I thought of. But I worked with Laura Stogar and her husband. They're together. What is his name? He's Matthew something. He's Laura Stogar is married to Matthew Brossard. Yes, that's right. So they're both comedians. They're married. I've worked with them. Oh, that's really pretty. And I'm trying to think of other people. Let's see. But yeah, I think it can work. I guess you'd have to grow together. But obviously everybody wants to know the juicy story behind it. But I think maybe there's just not. Maybe they're just, but she also she went through cancer and she survived that. And it's like, I've heard that happens. I mean, I guess life takes on a different path. Anyway, it's depressing and sad that they're getting divorced, but if that's for what they both want, we have to cheer them on, right? I think the sad and depressing part is like, oh no, their love didn't last kind of thing. We all want our love to last, right? All right, so the moral of the recap for the week was make sure you're getting my reps in, but make sure I'm tweaking the things that did not work and going back and fixing the jokes, revising the jokes so that it keeps getting stronger as opposed to just doing the reps and no revisions, right? So that like, what was the point of doing 9 reps this past week? Was to get stronger with my jokes. So this bartending bit that I've been like stuck on with like, how long do I need to get to the punch of this to get to the transition is something I really need to figure out for Saturday because I do want to put it in for Saturday. I want it to hit from start to finish. Like I want it to be funny all the way through. Not it was like, so I was a bartender, you know? Like I worked 7 jobs when I got divorced. I was like that Jamaican in A Living Color, you know? But not everyone knows the reference of In Living Color, so I have to compare it. Hi, Lewis. If people didn't get divorced, we wouldn't have divorce diaries. Right, but now my show is just Michele Traina, right? So we have the Michele Traina show, but we will always have divorce diaries too. On the brand. Why do you work so much? You should have made him, no. I work so much because I like working. And at the time, I needed the extra money because I moved out of my house. I did a short sale on my house. I just needed to make money. Also, most of the time, I like what I'm doing. I always wanted to make money doing things I love to do. Dad taught me that because he hated his job. So my dad always taught me to do what you love for work because you're doing it the majority of your life. You're not, if you don't like, if you don't like to be if you don't want to be a doctor, don't become a doctor for the money, because you'll be miserable. I like stepped on lint. That was gross. Okay. Right? Like, don't become something you don't want to become just because you're going to make money. You'll be not happy doing it. So when I became like a theater teacher, I always wanted to perform every day. And I saw how when I went and studied educational theater, you can be an actor in the classroom with your students. You can play, there's role, teacher and role. Right? But essentially, my whole real passion is being on stage or on camera. So I don't want to give up on that. I'm never going to give up on it. I'm always going to be pursuing it, regardless of naysayers or the people that tell you. I don't like when someone poses. Someone said this too. Okay, let me put this in a way where it's. When a family member or somebody close to you tries to like convince you that what you're doing is not what's right for you or the right option, and you know that it is, you have to ignore it and try not to let it get to you. I know something happened the other night. My daughter told me that I was like, ooh, I'm getting angry about that. Because I was like, how dare that person say that to you? They have no clue what going after their dreams means. And then I was just like, why is this frustrating you so much? Like, just who cares? Like, your daughter knows the truth. You know, like, what the reality is. And, like, that person is negative and like, the person also doesn't mean harm. But, like, they just never went after what they wanted because they took the route that's the most safe. And when something is a risk, when there's a risk involved, people, I feel like, don't like to take those risks because they feel like, well, what if I fail? And then there's no chance. Like, if someone could say to me, you have no chance of getting a television series. You're 44 years old and there's so many comedians out there. You have a very small chance. Sure, tell me all the statistics that you want. That's not going to change my mind of I will perform every single day until I get to be the best comedian and I am making my full salary on it. I mean, like I said, that mindset stuff is important. Like, this week, I feel like the amount of time I put into a lot of the stand-up really paid off. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I felt it yesterday on stage. Like, I also felt the energy of gratitude, where I was so in such a gratuitous headspace about everything in my life, like every single thing in my life, that when I went on stage, I was like, wow, like, bonus. Why did you work so much? You should have made him pay alimony. Oh, did you already answer that? So that's a great feeling too. And also, I was just like, oh, I want to have this feeling every day. I mean, you can have that feeling every day, but you have to manage the obstacles too, right? So, recap of this week. I got back to Jersey before Sunday. Thank God. Well, I got back on Sundays, 2 a.m. But we did nine spots last week. That's including my Divorce Diaries show, spots in Toronto, open mics in Atlanta. The open mics in Atlanta were really shows, which was interesting, which was great. That show I did at the Laughing Skull. I don't even know now. These names are. Ooh, hold on a second. What was that feeling? Laughing Skull, I think. T.I.'s cousin was hosting it, according to what the guy that opened for me at Divorce Diaries. That his name was Plug. I was laughing. I was like, his name is Plug? Thank you. Hi, Sun God. Let's get 3 more likes in here, guys. We got 50 more. 50. We got 3 more likes to get to 50. Hit that like button. Boop, 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 boop. Tomorrow we are interviewing, or we're supposed to be interviewing Greg Stone. Very excited, and possibly John Segula, if John can make it. We're gonna ask some questions about their comedy, and where they're at, what they're doing. And John Sigel is a writer, or not writer, he's producer for the Practical Jokers, which they're filming right now for season 13. Yeah, his name was Plug. I wanted to be like, is that your government name, or, you know, what all your kids are calling you? I'm joking, that's not nice. They would call him Dad. Yo, cuz. And then we have, so the shows are, right now I'm just filling up my August and September. I want to try to fill it up as much as possible. August 14th and 15th, I have shows now. August 1st is postponed. Let's actually double check that. We are postponed in Columbus, and then I'm going to try to get stage time in New York, and hopefully the dojo is opening back up. I'm gonna actually ask him. What's Mike's message? Mike Filibosian. That's not the right Mike. Hi, any word? Can't wait. Any word on the dojo? I see they had. I hope the mics come back at the dojo. I really love August 15th is your birthday. Great. I really loved the mics. I love the mics time there, and then just getting to work new stuff out. Who's my favorite comedian and why? Or of all time? Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know who's my favorite comedian of all time. Roseanne, I really loved back in the day, like as a comedian who's a mom and like brought together the working class people. I really liked her. Again, Maniscalco, I really watched a lot of his stuff like 10 years ago over and over again before I even started doing stand-up. So I really was invested in him for a while. I'm trying to think. Of all time is hard. I mean, like, Richard Pryor is like amazing. You know, all those, like George Carlin, there's so many. I think Rodney Dangerfield doesn't get enough love, and he was really good. I might actually, that's on my, like, my study sheet of like going back to watch old comedy specials and just listening to how they were delivering jokes and stuff. Martin Lawrence is your all-time best favorite comedian of all time. Okay. I like Martin Lawrence. I'll take Martin. Martin! John told me he did not watch Martin. How many of you watched Martin growing up? Sun God, where are you from? Oh, you're 1980, it says. So where are you from? Because I felt like Martin was a big one when we were I'm 44, so maybe not for boyfriends who are 8 years younger. So did you watch Martin? Let me put some music on. This is pretty dead. Oh, so you're the same age as me. Rochester. All right, hang on. I gotta get the NCIS thing up. Yeah, I thought his character. Oh my God, that's horrible. Ugh. I just got a message. The date with town was pushed to 7/27. Okay, thanks for the update. Oh, it sucks. 7/27. Fuck, man. Oh well. Yeah, so it looks like there's no mic. No mics. That's a week from now. So we did a lot of stuff for the show. Oh, good. I don't understand why they're getting on this club when they've been in operation for years. It's crazy. So, I mean, this is a great example of when people try to take you down, just keep showing up. Like, this club is such a good club and succeeding, and someone was trying to fuck with them. I don't know. Oh, fuck, man. So that would be a no of the dojo this week. That sucks. Oh well. I just want, like, I liked the camaraderie too of those mics. There's very good camaraderie. You think Tom can do better? Oh, Christina P, what? Why would you say something? Like, listen, I feel like if they both want to find different partners that match where they're growing, that's great. But I don't think it's about doing better. Like, looks are subjective, right? I think that it's just, you think it seems scripted. Why do you think their breakup seems scripted? I don't know about that. What about Shane Gillis? We didn't talk about this. Shane Gillis's, let's talk about the Shane Gillis thing. Shane Gillis broke 2 Guinness World Records, right? Let's look at it. Okay, let's talk about it. Here we go. So, most tickets sold for a comedy show by a solo comedian. That was his first Guinness World Record broken. He sold 77,047 tickets, and he had the other record for the largest audience for a comedian, 73,946. Would love to interview her. Yes, agreed. That's the person I'm reaching out to. But I'm not going to be like, hey, I'd like to interview you about your divorce. I'm just going to ask her to, hey, I'd like to interview you. So his Philadelphia show, because he's from Philly, right? Let's read that's crazy. That's a goal to obtain. Is she really? Yes, she is. She's a comedian. All right, so here it is. Shane Gillis, this is from Variety, breaks Guinness World Record for most tickets sold for a solo comedy show. That's insane. So most tickets sold and the biggest audience. I don't think his wife is a comedian, is she? I don't think so at all. When he took to the stage, Gillis broke a separate Guinness World Record for largest audience for a comedian, which was determined by the verified attendance count inside the stadium. That number was 73,946 attendees, beating the previous record held by Mario Barth, who performed for 63,000 people at the Olympia Stadium in Berlin on July 12, 2008. It was reported in 2025 that Gabriel Iglesias and Joe Coy could have eclipsed Barr's attendance number with their joint show. See, that doesn't count. You did a joint show with Gabriel Iglesias. It's not fully your audience. Am I wrong? So I don't think that counts, but it was never officially attempted with Guinness. Gillis's tickets sold record is a new title opened by Guinness World Records with a minimum to be 54,000. While the organization has previously tracked attendance records, the ticket count was not considered as a separate feat. And then Naomi Want-A-Bee holds the record for most tickets sold for a comedy show by a solo female comedian in February 11, 2006. That was, guess how many tickets you think? Do they have kids? Yeah, they have 2 kids. Mark Norman has a kid as well, or 2 kids. The Japanese comic and actress sold 44,356 tickets in February of 2026. By the way, so that was, I should have said guess the number of the female. That's a 30,000 difference. He wrote, so this was Gillis's, congratulations. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's pretty huge. I think he's from Pennsylvania or Philly, but I wasn't a huge fan of his. I wasn't not a fan, but like my boyfriend was more, and then so I got into listening to more of his stuff. And also listened to some of his podcast episodes with like the one with Cheryl Underwood. So hey, listen, that's great. Let's hit that record, baby. Let's hit. What do I need to do, God? Now I know what I need to do. Show up every day doing the work, writing, transcribing, fixing things that can be tweaked. Yeah, we're working that. Look. Here, this is what's on the board. Nobody tells you. Sorry. Nobody tells you this. The gap between amateur and professional in any field is usually about 1,000 hours of deliberate practice, not talent, not luck. Hours, focus, uncomfortable, feedback-rich hours. People accumulate hours passively. Professionals. This. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be on Twitch tonight. Stay tuned for the time. I might make it a little earlier if I get down with the open mic early. Just because I'm still tired from that. I'm just still a little sleepy, but that's okay. We're back in it. Thank you so much. Yeah, the garden only has 50,000 seats. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Did you watch Martin? That was our poll question. 56% of you said no. 44% said yes. Only 9 votes though. So he's on Ozempic to start. He'll probably go to your girlfriend. I don't know. Not necessarily. All right. Well, he might. You never know. She might have a 20-year-old boyfriend. You never know. Hello. If you're just tuning in, we did a whole recap of this past week. Finally drank my Bustelo. Well, I drank it this yesterday morning too, but this was, you should say divorce diaries, and it peeled off. But I have, I didn't get to enjoy the Bustelo like I do on my live streams because I was running in a 5K and I needed to really focus on the run and not have to poop in the middle of the run. So, that's disgusting. I'm just saying, because when you drink that much coffee, or when you drink coffee, okay. So, you love Tim Dillon? Yes, he's good. I worked with somebody who's like his close friend. That doesn't make any difference, though. But stay tuned for more, guys. Follow me here and everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitch.